What is going on, everyone? Badger here. Be sure to like and sub, and let's get into this. Assassin's Creed is one of my favorite game series for a lot of different reasons, and I think they're all pretty solid. I could even make excuses for Origins, but once it got turned into a full-on open-world RPG, once they of the two big sins of Assassin's Creed, it was one, killing off Desmond Miles, and two, getting away from the Templars versus Assassins, Pieces of Eden's hunt into whatever the hell we got going on now. And something that probably should have always been there, i.e., the game itself, is they are now introducing a canon mode that removes any player choice as far as what the protagonists say or do choice wise, because let's be honest, this is how it always was, and this is how it always should have been, because you are not into a freeform RPG simulator. You are reliving genetic memory, i.e., you shouldn't have any choice whatsoever. All you are doing is getting, in fact, there used to be specific restrictions that you had to do things in certain ways to be more accurate to the memory and avoid desynchronizing. So they did the creative director and a couple others. I haven't saw it, but I couldn't stomach doing an AMA with them. I knew an article like this would be written of everything that we gained from that. So the creative director and a couple others were on that AMA, and they were asked about the game and a couple other features. They said, this is one of the questions: "Hey devs, I'm super excited for the game and can't wait for release. My first question is, how long will the main game be in the comparisons to Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla?" My game save for Valhalla is like 150 hours or something ridiculous. Also, how much does dialogue options and choice play into this game? And this is where we find out. First, the length of the game is always hard to evaluate in an open world game, as different players will have a very different ways to consume the content. I think Shadow's main journey is comparable to Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla. As for choices, they are present and some have an impact, but play less of a branching role than Odyssey on the core narrative. And this is where the whole canon mode comes into play. Choices come more into play when recruiting allies and romance. And of course, we made sure to point out that they had their the equivalent of a historical intimacy coordinator come in and find ways for them to have gay romance options for both Yasuke and Naoe. Since the fan base is divided on branching dialogues, we have incorporated an option called Canon Mode, not with cannons, but canon to lore, which allows you to play the game with choices already made for you to give you a choice free experience. Hope this makes it fun for everyone. So before we move on, they want their cake and they want to eat it too. It's not a matter of taking the choice away from you. It's that you're playing a historical figure that is supposed to be historically accurate within the bloodline memories. And so you're just, again, the first ones, you were just watching Ezio say what he said. You didn't get to choose what he said because you're not Ezio. You're just reliving a memory. And so if anything, this is returning it to the original games. That being said, they want their cake and eat it too. So they're going to give you the option, if you want to just say whatever the hell you want and pay no attention to the historical accuracy, I guess that's just play the freeform mode or whatever. For main missions, there is a lot of flexibility to use the character you want. Most of the open world content is pretty much open for both characters, but there will be specific activities crafted for Yasuke or Naoe. For example, Naoe has been trained in Kujikiri meditation techniques. She's the only one that can do it in the open world, while Yasuke has been trained to learn kata. So this activity is for Yasuke. In addition, Naoe and Yasuke also have their unique personal stories as key moments of the game. These can only be played by one of the characters. This allows us to have a deeper dive into their own personal motivations, some cool surprises in there. And this seems very much like what they did with Syndicate. We could play as Jacob and Evie Fry, and you could play some missions as both, but some missions you had to play as Jacob or Evie. Evie was more suited to stealth. Jacob was more suited to bombastic. It seems like the same thing right here. They go on to talk about the different choices. Either way, the want for this game is at an all-time low. It, of course, got delayed into February after the abysmal release of Star Wars Outlaws, and Ubisoft, they basically said, like, oh no, we knew we couldn't release it in the form it was in. And also, if you believe in Demion and others, the BLM modern day protagonist that inspired Yasuke being included, the George Floyd socio-political elements that we're told were one of the key reasons they wanted Yasuke in the game instead of the original character of Yamuchi Taka, which we've seen in Assassin's Creed Memories and other lore. He was apparently going to be the focus, and then they switched to this, and now in the time till February, they're removing all the cringe rap music and the on-the-nose modern dialogue from it. But even if you scrub it from everything and you make it ideal, word of this might end up being an Indiana Jones, where even if they release a good, competent game, the goodwill is pretty much gone, and you won't get the same amount of people to play it. Will the normal Assassin's Creed players, the ones that buy all the games or ignore it, buy it? Sure, probably. Like that don't pay attention to any controversy, they just know, oh, Assassin's Creed, and purchase it? Sure, but a lot of people are well aware of the word of mouth going around, and not going to be selling the way Valhalla did, at least not in my opinion. You let me know your opinion. What do you think? Either way, make sure to like, share, and sub. If you have done that, thank you. If you're going to do that, thank you. And I guess I'm playing in Canon mode.
Well, bye.